Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, says it has shut off a pipeline valve attacked by Niger Delta Avengers in Orukanam local government area, Akwa Ibom State. The incident occurred Thursday morning at about 4 a.m. The Nigerian state oil firm said the pipeline had been closed in order to contain a gas leak caused by the explosion. The Niger Delta Avengers has carried out attacks on oil facilities in Nigeria's southern oil-rich region. After snubbing an invitation to dialogue with the Nigerian government, the militant group on Monday made a U-turn and stated a number of conditions that it expects the Nigerian government to meet before it would engage in any form of dialogue. One of such demands is the involvement of independent foreign mediators. Nigeria's oil output has fallen to a 30-year low due to the attacks. President Muhammad Buhari has extended his 10-day vacation to UK till Sunday. He had been expected back in Nigeria on Thursday. However, the presidency revealed that his trip had been extended. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo disclosed this to State House correspondents just before the National Executive Council meeting holding in the council chambers. President Buhari jetted out of Nigeria on Monday, June 6th, on what the special advisor on media described as routine vacation and medical checkup. The federal government has listed 22 stringent conditions Nigeria's 36 states must fulfill to be eligible to draw from the 90 billion naira loan. The loan, which had been set aside to bail out states, is facing difficulties. Has been set aside to bail out states facing financial difficulties. Nigeria is Africa's largest economy and its top oil producer, but its public finances have suffered as the price of crude oil dropped around the world. The economic crisis has also worsened due to attacks on the country's pipelines by a group known as the Niger Delta Militants. The government last year granted bailout funds to some states to ease the crisis. However, with some states still unable to pay salaries to government, the government decided to step in to save the states again. But to access the funds, the government states must fulfill 22 conditions. One of such conditions is that states must publish audited financial statements within 9 months of financial year end. Waziri Adio, the Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, (NITI), says Nigeria lost at least $9 billion in 2013 to sharp financial practices in the oil and gas sector. Adio stated this while briefing the Senate on the agency's 2013 audit report on the oil and gas sector and solid mineral sector in Abuja on Wednesday. He said Nigeria lost $5.9 billion and 20 billion naira to the inefficient practices and theft, among other things, and that $1.7 billion was still owed to the Federation account from oil mining leases. Adio also said that the audit report revealed that the NNPC diverted some monies that should have been transferred to the Federation account. A bill to amend the Public Procurement Act to promote local content policy has been passed by the Nigerian Senate. The bill is also expected to adopt timely completion of procurement process. The bill, which makes it mandatory for government agencies to patronize made in Nigeria goods, was sponsored by Senator Sam Egu, who is from PDP North, Ebonyi State North. Speaking after the consideration of a report on the bill, Senate President Bukola Saraki emphasized that priority must be given to local goods. Lawmakers representing the former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki say they are going to the Supreme Court to press for his freedom denied him by the Nigerian government. This comes after 3 high courts in Abuja had admitted him to bail in the criminal charges filed against him by the government. Dasuki had on Wednesday at the Court of Appeal in Abuja lost his bid to enforce his freedom. His lawyer Ahmed Raji confirmed that appeal papers had been filed at the Supreme Court to challenge the judgment of the Court of Appeal and those from the high courts that ordered his rearrest. 2 Nigerian migrants seeking greener pastures in Europe through Niger's vast desert have been found dead. Officials in Niger say they died after being abandoned by their smuggler. They were among the 34 migrants, including 20 children found dead in the desert. Of the adult migrants, 9 were women and 5 were men. They died between June 6th or thereabouts to June 12th. Interior Minister Bazoum Mohammed confirmed the incident. Meanwhile, the International Organization for Migration estimates that about 220,000 people crossed through the Agadez Desert last year. Nigerian authorities are yet to comment on their identities. The Nimba community in Uzonwani local government area of Enugu State has urged the federal government to pay 17 billion naira to the community as compensation for the attack in the community by suspected herdsmen. The incident, which occurred on April 25th, left at least 9 people dead and many more injured. The traditional ruler of the community, John Akko, made the demand when he testified at the panel of inquiry into the attacks. He said the money would be payment for the ills suffered by the members of the community. The police has already arrested the herdsmen suspected to have led the invasion. The leadership crisis rocking Nigeria's main opposition party continues to worsen. Some youths of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) against the leadership of Ali Modu Sheriff shut down the national headquarters of the PDP. Sheriff is the factional chairman of the party who took over its affairs earlier this week. The youths, who are supporters of Ahmed McCarthy, locked all the offices in the PDP secretariat and handed over the keys to the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Walid Jibrin. However, in a twist of events, another youth group with the loyalties to the embattled PDP national chairman later stormed the secretariat, destroyed the padlock and entered the premises.
We have now conquered our party, we have taken over our party, we have locked up our party, we have closed it down, and we are handing over. If Ali Modu Sheriff tries to come here again, what he will see from the youth of this country, he will go home to tell the story. He cannot come back here again. What we are asking as youth of this party is that now we have the keys. We are handing our key over to the conscience of our party, the leader of the People's Democratic Party Board of Trustees, Senator Walid Jibrin Aminu. Now we are going to do this on behalf of youth leaders here, on behalf of other youth leaders here. We are handing him over, and we are saying that if anything happens to our party, we are going to hold Nigerian police responsible. We do that this is the key of our great party, sir. So we have blocked everywhere. We handed it over. We have chased them away. They were on their knees, and they were begging us. We allowed them to go.
This is part of the key. This is part of the key. By the glory of God and the powers bestowed on the Board of Trustees as a conscience of the party, and by the provision of our Constitution of the PDP, that the BOT is the conscience of this party, and we can bring to book any officer of this party. It is with this respect that I have decided on behalf of the Board of Trustees of BOT that we have come here to congratulate all of you for what we have done, and to assure you that there is no faction in this party at all. And I have received this key on behalf of the Board of Trustees of our party. And I want to assure you that it is not a chance of blaming. We are taking this key to the members of the BOT with a view of reviewing the whole situation and taking a decision.
Meanwhile, Nigerian governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) have insisted that Senator Ali Modu Sheriff is not the chairman of the party. The PDP Governors Forum, who held a meeting on Thursday, said it would not recognize Sheriff as the leader of the party. The governors also explained why they withdrew their support for Senator Sheriff at the reported Port Harcourt Convention after giving him the assurance that he had their support. Ekiti State Governor Ayo Fayoshi, who was once a vocal supporter of Sheriff, said they were against anything that will make Sheriff turn such an opportunity into running for the post of President of Nigeria. PDP is Nigeria's biggest opposition party and was only defeated in May 2015 after holding power for 16 years. The leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress have written to the 6 Nigerian banks asking them to recall the staff they laid off recently or face a national strike action. Some banks carried out massive downsizing in the last 3 months, a situation that led to the federal government mandating them to stop sacking or face severe sanctions. A letter signed by NLC accused the banks of sacking their staff without obeying laws and also preventing their staff from forming labor unions. The letters were sent to management of Sky Bank, First City Monument Bank, Fidelity Bank, Diamond Bank, Echo Bank, and First Bank. We'll take a short break now. We'll come back. We'll look at more news stories. Please don't go away.
That was a very good business.
Yeah.
The furniture you brought was very perfect.
But that's how we roll.
Because let me do you receipts.
Yeah. How much was it again?
1 million naira.
Okay, write 2.5.
Mbano. The deal was for 1 million naira now.
Okay, write 3 million. I'll give you 500.
Oh no, I don't do business like that now. Yeah.
In that case, give me back my check. Let me go and look for someone that understand business.
Take.
Your loss.
But it is only for incorruptible customers. What are you talking?
Now get out.
What kind of this?
You will just die.
No,
You will die.
That is the door. Now get out from here.
Rubbish.
Look, my people, make una only add money for original invoice price. That's not corruption. Say no, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. You're watching TV360 News now. To business stories. The Central Bank of Nigeria has released the highlights of the much-awaited flexible foreign exchange market policy. The Apex Bank on Wednesday said the regime would be determined by market forces. Speaking at a news conference in Abuja, the nation's capital, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele said, under the new plan, the official exchange rate of the Naira will exist in a single flexible window which will take off on June 20th.
The market shall operate as a single market structure through the interbank and autonomous window. 2. The exchange rate will be purely market-driven using the Thomson Reuters and FMDQ order matching system as well as the conventional dealing book. 3. The CBN will participate in the market through periodic interventions to either buy or sell foreign exchange as the need arises. 4. To improve the dynamics of the market, we will introduce FX primary dealers who would be registered by the CBN to deal directly with the bank for large trade sizes on a two-way quote basis. 5. These primary dealers shall operate with other dealers in the interbank market, amongst other obligations that will be stipulated in the foreign exchange primary dealers guidelines, which would also be released immediately after this press briefing. 6. There shall be no predetermined spreads on foreign exchange spot transactions executed through the CBN intervention with primary dealers, while all FX spot purchases by authorized dealers are transferable in the interbank foreign exchange market. 7. The 41 items classified as not valid for foreign exchange as detailed in a previous circular by the CBN shall remain inadmissible in the Nigerian foreign exchange market for foreign exchange. 8. To enhance liquidity in the market, the CBN may also offer long-tenured FX forwards of tenure ranging between 6 and 12 months or any tenure to authorized dealers. 9. Sale of foreign exchange forwards by authorized dealers to end users must be trade-backed with no predetermined spreads. 10. The CBN shall introduce non-deliverable over-the-counter Naira-settled futures with daily rates on the CBN-approved FMDQ trading and reporting system. This is an entirely new product in the Nigerian foreign exchange market, which would help moderate volatility in the exchange rate by moving non-urgent FX demand from the spot to the futures market. The OTC FX futures shall be in non-standardized amounts and different fixed tenors, which may be sold on any dates, thereby ensuring bespoke maturity dates. 13. Proceeds of foreign investment inflows and international money transfers shall be purchased by authorized dealers at the daily interbank rates. Also, non-oil exporters are now allowed unfettered access to their FX proceeds, which shall be sold in the interbank market. In terms of timeline, the management of the CBN has agreed as follows. A. The detailed operational guidelines for the flexible foreign exchange market will be released immediately after this press briefing. B. The guidelines for the selection and operations of the foreign exchange primary dealers would also be released immediately after this press briefing. C. Selected FX primary dealers will be notified by Friday, 17th of June 2016, and all other non-primary dealers would remain valid and eligible to participate in the market. D. Interbank trading under the new guidelines will begin on Monday, 20th of June 2016, and E. The tenors and rates for the OTC Naira settled FX futures will be announced on Monday, the 27th June 2016. In closing, let me note that the central bank is strongly determined to make this market as transparent, liquid, and efficient as possible. Therefore, we will neither tolerate unscrupulous behavior nor hesitate to bring serious sanctions on offenders. The CBN expects all authorized dealers particularly to display the highest level of professionalism. We expect them to understand the spirit and letter of this transition to a market-based system. The CBN will not allow the system to be undermined by speculators and rent seekers. And permit me to emphasize that any attempt to breach any aspects of the spirit and letter of this new framework will be heavily sanctioned by the CBN, and this may indeed result in the suspension or withdrawal of the FX dealing license of any offending authorized dealer.
Following CBN's announcement, traders say the Nigerian Naira is expected to fall next week when the new open market foreign currencies trading starts on Monday. The Naira was trading on the black market at around 370 to the dollar on Thursday. Foreign investors and economists have called for months of devaluation as chronic foreign currency shortages choked economic growth and deterred investment in Nigeria. MTN Group says it will more than double capital spending in Nigeria in the 2016 fiscal year. The announcement comes days after it agreed to pay a heavily reduced penalty to settle a regulatory dispute with Nigeria. The mobile operator is expected to spend 11.1 billion rand to upgrade its network in Nigeria. The figure is significantly higher than its spending of nearly 5 billion rand last year. The group had on Friday announced it had agreed to pay a heavily reduced fine of $1.7 billion, or a third of the initial penalty, for missing a deadline to deactivate more than 5 million unregistered SIM cards. European stocks fell while oil prices headed for a sixth session of declines on Thursday. Brent crude futures traded as low as $48.14 per barrel, the weakest since May 24th, while U.S. crude traded $47.37 per barrel. With a week to go before Britain votes on whether to leave the European Union, oil and other markets remain enthralled to opinion polls. The polls, however, show that those supporting an exit are in the majority. The cockpit voice recorder from the EgyptAir flight that crashed last month has been found in the Mediterranean Sea. Egyptian investigators say a vessel with an underwater robot had been searching an area north of the Egyptian coast. Flight MS-804 from Paris to Cairo crashed with 66 people on board last month. It is still unknown what caused the plane to crash. The body of a young boy seized by an alligator at a Walt Disney Resort in Florida has been found. Orange County Sheriff Jerry Deming said the missing boy's name was Lane Graves from Nebraska. Divers found a body intact that they believe to be the 2-year-old who was dragged into the water on Tuesday evening in front of his family. His father sustained injuries while attempting to save the child. Moving on to sports stories now, the first son of late Nigerian coach Stephen Keshi says certain persons have put dates forward for his father's burial rites without the knowledge of and consent of his children. Stephen Keshi Jr. says his family is working with the federal government, Delta and Edo State government, as well as all the well-meaning Nigerians to give his father a befitting burial. Former Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi died in Edo State last week, Wednesday, on June the 8th. He was only 54 years old. The Edo State government has denied owing the late former coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Shuaibu Ahmadu, salaries to the tune of 25 million naira. Ahmadu died on Friday night shortly after complaining of chest pain. He was buried on Saturday evening according to Islamic rites. The state government, in a statement, explained that Ahmadu was employed on a fixed-term contract basis as a consultant and technical advisor of the Edo State Football Development Program. It noted that the deceased was placed on a monthly salary of 2 million naira and the contract was not renewed upon expiration. Nigerian women are out of the basketball event of the 2016 Olympics. The team finished third in Group C of the 2016 FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. Nigeria has only made one appearance in the women's basketball event of the Olympics. They appeared for the first time at Athens 2004. Well, that's all we have on news now. Thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okuru.